Welcome to Walk the Line. Well, I'm your host, OG Chris. We're giving you the Dynasty Madden League Week 17 picks. I know it's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I was on vacation, enjoying that beautiful weather out there in South Beach. But we're bringing you a Week 17 show, man. And I'm glad to introduce and have a new voice on here, my co-host, Jay, the owner of the Seattle Seahawks. What's going on, Jay?
Lego, glad to be here. A lot of good picks this week.
All right, man. So it's Week 17. Usually, around Week 17, a lot of things is dying off and a bunch of leads. But we got a very, very interesting, exciting Week 17 in the DML because we have a lot of games that can make or break a couple guys' seasons. Put some guys, in the playoffs and also eliminate a couple other guys. But what's your thoughts so far, man, on your squad on this season?
We started out rough, as usual, and honestly, this hasn't been our best stat season. Usually we're top 3 in sacks and interceptions on defense, and usually got top 5 rushers, but for some reason, we have not been able to put any good stats, but our record shows different. We're right now leading the division, and one more win away from clinching our first division title.
Okay. Man, so we ain't gonna hold the people up. Let's dive into these picks of this Week 17. First up off the hand, we got Darkness in the Tennessee Titans versus Flair in the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, these are pretty much both two teams that are pretty much prepping their squad and their organization for the off season. Looking at this Tennessee Titans roster, man, they are stacked at on both sides of the field, and Darkness just can't seem to make everything gel together and produce a winning season. What do you think seems to be the problem out there in Tennessee?
I mean, give his division a little bit of credit here. They got some battles over there, but he has one of probably my favorite quarterbacks that have came out this entire cycle, Clay Brooks. I would have loved to have him. He was the same draft class as my quarterback, but I mean, Clay Brooks is a complete freak, and for some reason he just cannot gel with him. He has up and down seasons. I do love his running back because he's got a stat here just for the season that Alfred Griffin, that man has carried the ball 217 times and he's only fumbled once. That is very impressive. So that means he's got sure hands. He's definitely going to not lose the rock. And it's tough. He really probably should try to find different ways to move down the field.
Okay, now we're gonna switch sides over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers from the beginning of the season up to this point, the beginning of the cycle up to this point, has had at least, let's say, 4 top 3 picks.
Easily.
Do you think that the crucial trading that the organization has did with trading away those top picks every single is the reason why this Pittsburgh Steelers team is sitting at 3-12 and they're suffering from not being able to actually fill those holes that was being created by guys hitting their age mark where they just can't produce anymore, funds being tied up where they can't resign guys? Do you think that this organization is suffering from making those crucial trades in the beginning of the cycle and now it's coming back to bite them in their behind?
Definitely. I mean, he'll try to justify that he traded his first to get, some later first, but you just cannot give up your first if you know you're going to be in the top 5. Those are crucial picks. I can understand some of these users that trade their number 10 or 15, and even that will hurt people. But, man, if you're in the top 5, you've got to keep those picks. And, he's made some nice moves here and there, but he's really probably missing out on probably 4 superstar players that probably could have at least not made him a bottom feeder in the NFC North or AFC North. That you guys got a tough division, but him and the Bengals, I feel like he should at least be competing for that 3rd spot. It's definitely came back and bit him, and I think he's made a rookie mistake because he's been with you guys for a while. And I think this is just, he'll learn from this, and hopefully Madden 20, he'll learn to just hold on, be humble, and hold on to his picks and build early.
Now, Vegas has the Tennessee Titans favored in this matchup by 4.5 points. Now, with my pick, this is a no-brainer for me. I just think that the Tennessee Titans have more talent overall as far as the players on their squad, and I think Darkness stick skills is better than Flair. So with my pick, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking Darkness and the Tennessee Titans getting a W. Now, with your pick, who you taking?
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers, look out for at least this X factor on the Steelers. He's a rookie, Harmon Horton. He is a strong safety. He leads the team with 81 tackles, so look for him to be all over the field trying to stop these guys. But you're right, I'm going to edge out the Tennessee Titans over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So with the first pick of Week 17, we both agreeing with the Titans getting a W. But moving on, we got Chaz and the Detroit Lions versus Hamilton and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, these two squads right here are they got some good key pieces. Both users seem to be able to put together some impressive wins, but Chaz seem to shake the Madden BS out there in Detroit, and the Minnesota Vikings just can't seem to shake the injury bug out there in Minnesota. What's your thoughts on this matchup right here?
I love when these two teams get up together because I definitely always tune in for these guys because you really never know what you're going to get. The Vikings have had QB controversy this entire year. Mm-hmm. They traded for my guy Hubbard, and he's obviously not working out. So now he has a rookie in there. He needs to find a quarterback real quick before high stakes, or he's going to have this complete problem. I do look forward to always seeing these guys bump heads. It's a good matchup, and I hope they end up in the same division in Madden 20.
Yeah, I gotta agree, man, because this game right here is always entertaining because they definitely be going at each other in the chat. So I know that even though it's Week 17 and both of these guys are ending their season on a losing season, I believe that both organizations understand that this is a very important win because I know that neither one of these guys won't let this W slip through their hands. Vegas right now has the Vikings favored by 2.5 points in this matchup. With my pick, I'm definitely going to go with the home team on this one. I know the type of momentum that's heading into this game. I know Hamilton does not want to lose. Also, Taz does not want to lose. But I'm just going to stick with the home team, feeding off that home crowd energy, wanting to end the season on a good note. What's your pick on this matchup?
Man, it's all, like we say, it's splitting hairs with these guys. But you know what? I think the Lions are going to edge this one off against the Vikings. He's got this right outside linebacker, Torrey Sanford. He's already got 7 sacks, and he's got a defensive tackle with 7 sacks. The Vikings love to run the ball with that physical guy, so I really want to see this matchup in the trenches. I think Lions pull it together and edge out. Whoever has the least turnovers will win this game. I think Lions finally pull it together and get a win in Week 17.
Okay, so we split on this one. So hopefully Hamilton can come out with that W and prove me right, man. But moving on, we got our first game that can impact the playoffs on both sides, both conferences. You have Matty Ice, who's 12-3, who's pretty much fighting for playoff position. His playoff spot is locked in. And you have the Schemer, who's coming off of a crazy loss where his team can't do anything right, to the Washington Redskins, who's sitting at 9-5-1. And this could make or break his season. But this is a must-win for the Schemer because if he wants to have some form of hope and hoping everything can just line up right to where this New England Patriots team can get into the playoffs, this is the game that he must win. Now, last week, the Schemer and the Patriots couldn't do anything right. He had a total of 7 turnovers by his quarterback, throwing the ball pretty much just throwing pickles everywhere. The Redskins teams out there eating INT after INT after INT after INT. Entering this matchup, what type of motivation can the Schemer bring in such short notice? Because coming off of a loss like that, it's hard to see, but he has to shake it. What type of motivation can the Schemer bring to give some form of hope to this team and locking in this W against a tough opponent like Matty Ice and the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, Matty's not going to let up easy on this one. Even with Week 17, all the thoughts of, man, I need to stay healthy. Do I injure someone? I don't think Matty plays like that. Matty's going to come out full strength and definitely try to get this W. The Schemer has to pull it together. He cannot have another season where he loses in Week 17 and gives up a playoff spot. He lost to Flair and was bounced. And now here comes the Dolphins ready to take that division title. The Patriots have to get it together this week. Like you said, must win. He cannot turn over the ball against a very good Eagles defense.
Yeah, man. And Vegas right now does not believe in the Patriots because they have the Eagles favored by 6, a large whopping 6 points on the road. Now, I'm telling you right now, I'm just gonna go with pure stick skills. I don't think that the schemer matches Matty Ice and stick skills toe to toe. And like you said before, this is not gonna be a game that Matty Ice seems to sit his starters. He wants to keep that torch lit heading into the postseason, and I think this is gonna be a game where he's gonna come out and have his offense clicking and his defense clicking, and I think he's going to pull out the W on the road against the Patriots. But what's your pick, and what direction are you going with it?
My gut tells me go with the Eagles. My heart, just for the story and just for the schemer, maybe he'd give us a little karaoke show if he wins. But I'm gonna have to go with my gut. And sorry, the schemer, the Eagles are too much match for you, and you're gonna once again miss out on a playoff appearance.
So, me and my co-host Jay agree that the Eagles is going to end the New England Patriots season once again by losing the Week 17 matchup. The schemer, man, you got to find that motivation and try to put it together, man. Next up, moving on, we have Solomon Kane and the New York Jets versus Skill Trade and the Buffalo Bills. Now, man, listen. We have a Jets team that's in clearly rebuilding stage, and we have a Buffalo Bills team who we can't seem to understand what's going on out there. Some, Skill Trade, these Bills seem to sneak out of a season with some impressive wins against some top-tier users, but then, they just fall completely off the mat. Is this Buffalo Bills team, is it patience time or is it panic time, and they just need to just pack it up for Mad 20? What's going on out there in Buffalo?
He's one of the most inconsistent users I've seen in this league. He has I've played him a couple times, and he's played me tough for the first 3 quarters, and then he kind of collapses a little bit. He's got if you look at his roster, he's got some halfway decent young talent there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's just the coaching staff, the playbooks. He just always seems to just find a way to lose a game, and this is a really tough matchup for him. He's in a tough division. This is going to be a tough one for him.
Yeah, man. And the thing about it right here, just to switch gears, this New York Jets team, I like how this New York Jets team foundation is built. But I can't seem to figure out if this is a pass-first offense or a run-first offense. I just can't seem to figure it out. But the main concern with me with this Jets team is protecting the quarterback. This quarterback has been sacked 41 times. That's not even including the quarterback, the hits on the quarterback. But he's been sacked a total of 41 times. You cannot expect, this is for every user in the DML, you cannot expect to come out and have a winning season, or winning your division or making a playoff run if you cannot protect your quarterback. And this is something that I think that come this off season, the New York Jets and that organization have to address this issue, or they will continue to repeat losing season after losing season after losing season. But Vegas, however, thinks that the Jets can pull it out and they have them favored in this matchup by 1.5 points. I don't think I'm not going with Vegas on this one. I think they got it wrong. I've seen how this Buffalo Bills front four can play on the defensive side of the ball, and I think that the Buffalo Bills defensive line will factor in on this game and get after that quarterback, causing turnovers, and I'm going with the Bills and Skill Tree getting the W, closing out the season. What's your thoughts on this one?
I was not expecting you to go Buffalo there. I like the pick there. I gotta say the Jets was just recently on the bye week a couple weeks ago with Expert, and he talked a high game about this was his division. Come high stakes, he's going to be a top 8 team, and he's going to be picking one of the better teams in Madden 20. And here we are a couple weeks later, and he's not even in the playoffs. Jets have to turn it around real quick if he wants to back up all that talk. He was talking about being able to compete with the schemer, and all you had to do against the Dolphins was stop his run. So he needs to really start to pick it up. I'm going to go with you as well, though. Buffalo Bills find a way to beat this Jets team.
Yeah, you better find some momentum, man. Put the chip on your shoulder, Solomon Kane, New Jets. Moving on, we have 85 in the New Orleans Saints versus Westside Pablo, New York Giants. And this game right here, man, just if you were to look at this game on the Week 17 card from Week 1, this would have been a very exciting game. But, how the Giants are playing is really not. Can we both agree on this right here, man? Just looking at the offensive weapons that this New York Giants team had with Odell Beckham, that freak of nature wide receiver, what's his name, Banham?
Ballman, something. Ballman. He's just a monster.
Just three seasons in the DML, he's already at a 99 overall. You have Saquon Barkley. You have what's the tight end that's out there in New York? You have Ingram out there. All these offensive weapons out there in New York, but they cannot seem to produce a winning season. They're sitting right now at 5-9. Can the New York Giants, be angry at their organization for not producing a winning season? With all this talent out there on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they have to be super disappointed. I call this a sophomore slump with this roster, with Ballman's sophomore season. They were on the brink of a playoff appearance last year, and, they came up short. But that entire season, he put up some monster numbers, and he beat some good competition last year. And then coming into this season, he's completely fell off, and now he's got a Week 17 game against the so-called bully, Addy and those Saints. And, I think he's packed it up a couple weeks ago. I think he's completely focused on this offseason, and he's just going to come into this game, probably try to get a little stat here, a little stat there, and he's packed it up. They're done.
Yeah, man. You got the Saints on the other side of the card that's just coming off a very impressive season. But this is nothing new that we've seen from Addy. But this is the question that the people have been asking me, and, they want an answer. Do you think that the question is, do you think that Addy is playing with a different type of momentum, and you think that he had a piece of humble pie last year, and now that fire and that ambition torch is lit again after winning three Super Bowls back to back?
Oh yeah, he's itching for just to keep building up those banners. That's all we hear in the chat is banners, banners, banners. He misses out on an opportunity last year. He got beat by a very good San Francisco team, and I think this year he's really looking to just completely destroy and kill whoever is in their way. And it proves on paper through the stats. He did suffer another injury, but that's nothing this Saints organization hasn't dealt with before. He has had plenty of injuries right before the playoffs, and obviously still been able to produce. His offense is a little bit different. You won't see as much as that fork play with that fast wide receiver he has. The wide receiver is gone. So look for him not to call the fork play as much, but he's still a dominant competitor. Really cool dude. I appreciate everything he definitely does for the league. And we're over here in the NFC, and we're all teaming up to try to stop him.
Yeah, because Vegas right now thinks that he's going to come out, even with him sitting at 14-0 and possibly resting all his starters. Vegas still thinks that he's going to win this game by 14 points. Now, I think Vegas jumped through the roof with the point spread, but I definitely think that they got it right with this pick. I'm definitely taking the Saints. I don't care if he had, bench warmers out there playing. I just think that as far as, overall just stick talent, he's better than Westside Pablo. And the Giants, man, I wanted to see this Giants team in the playoffs so bad, man, because that offense is crazy, man. But who you going with your pick?
Yeah, this is kind of a no-brainer, unfortunately, Bob. But this is Addy's win, and he's going to get that first-round bye already. And, yeah, this is going to be an ugly game, I think.
Yeah, so moving on, man. That was a no-brainer right there. We have B. Jeezy and the Baltimore Ravens versus my Cleveland Browns. Now, this game right here, I already knew what this game was going to be, what type of importance that this game was going to hold when the schedule released in the offseason. This game pretty much is going to come down to the division. Simple as that. Now, it can also determine who gets a playoff spot because I'm sitting at 9-5-1, and he's sitting, I believe, at 10-5. So this game can come down to who also wins the division and who also has a shot at getting still a wild card spot. But the Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to tell you right now, man, this is one guy that I have to just tip my head off to because the moves that he made by rebuilding this defense out there in Baltimore is giving that atmosphere of when they had Ray Lewis, when they had Ed Reed, and the list just goes on and on and on. The type of guys that he's drafting, trading for, and developing is just good to see that this Baltimore's organization, you know, is back to their winning ways. Even though he's my division mate, I still got to tip my head off. Now, in this game, flat out, I'm just going to tell you right now, I cannot turn the ball over. You know, this Baltimore team is a team that loves to get after the quarterback, for one, causing pressure, and two, has a secondary that loves to create turnovers. I got to take care of the ball, and I got to get my offense going very early. If I seem to come out sluggish, you know, this is going to be a very long day for my Cleveland Browns. But what's your thoughts for this matchup right here?
Yeah, the tie really kind of hurts you, and I know you've taken some sim losses, which has made you now put you at least in this situation to still have a chance. So you're very lucky even just to be in that, because you know when guys start to take those vacations and the sim losses pile up, their seasons are usually over. So it's good to see that it didn't hurt you to the extent that you're completely out of this matchup. With the Ravens, you're right. You got to come out and kind of punch him right in the mouth. That defense, you need to attack them quick because they'll stay on it the entire game. I've played him. Bruce is one of my boys. We always get in chats together. He's built that team. A lot of people have questioned some of the moves he's made, but as you can see, it's turned out, and he's looking to try to take this division title.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, he's come with the extra little motivation because he took, I believe, a sim loss to my Cleveland Browns early this year. So I know he's bringing some extra fire, man. But with my pick, you know, Vegas right now has surprisingly the Ravens favorite by 2.5 points. But I'm never going to pick against myself. That's just flat out. I don't care who I play. So with this pick, I'm definitely going to take my Cleveland Browns, getting the W, man, getting back into the postseason. Because we missed those playoffs last year. That still hurt. But what's your thoughts on what's your pick on this game and what difference do you got?
To make it even, he got me earlier this season. I'm going Cleveland Browns to win this game and put the pressure on the tiebreakers and see who they're going to give the last spot to and who's going to get the division. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out. So I'm going Cleveland Browns in a slim margin, definitely going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It's still really exciting, man, because when you get to week 7 in a lot of different leagues, it's just, it's week 17. You know who's in the playoffs. We have a lot of very interesting games that can impact the playoffs, even with some guys that's having a losing season. They could be upset some people to get into the playoffs. So it's very interesting, man. But, you know, moving on to this next game, which is another key game, even though one guy is having a losing season and the other guy is in the playoffs. So we have Eddie Forrest and these LA Chargers versus Kirk and the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Chargers right now are sitting at 10-5. They're not safe. They don't have a playoff spot secured. So even though he's facing a Green Bay Packers team who, you know, seem to they're getting back to their winning ways. You know, running that rock and keeping that offensive line healthy, keeping their running back Colbert healthy. And are you buying into the Green Bay Packers and their offensive scheme of ground and pound and giving Colbert over 15 plus carries a game?
Yeah, well, this just in last night, Colbert is out for the season. He got placed on IR. That is going to crush his momentum. He's got Rashard Penny, and I know he's got a little younger guy, but Penny has shown flashes. It's up to the Packers to open up that offense and not become predictable. In some ways, this could help him, but even missing a 99 overall Colbert Beast running back, it's definitely taking the wind out of that Packers team. Can they find a way to say, next man up, go out and beat the Bass Attack Chargers and solidify their first DML playoff appearance, which I know they've been itching for a long time?
Now, we got the Chargers who made one of the most remarkable trades in the DML by acquiring Rashard Bash with their already talented wide receiver core. Entering this matchup, can Feeding the Beast distract you sometimes and cost you games in crucial moments, or do you think that by him just coming out and sticking to his regular style game plan, feed the beast, will secure him his playoff spot in the AFC? Or do you think that sometimes by you sitting here knowing the type of talent that you have, meaning Rashard Bass, by you overloading this guy and feeding him, has this game plan that Eddie Forrest and these Chargers has been playing all season, is this the reason why these guys right now are currently still on the verge of not making the playoffs, even though they're sitting at 10-5?
It's such a hard thing to deal with. It goes both ways, because having a guy like that, you really do, he gets so much attention, and if he doesn't get his catches, he's going to let you know. You know, it's kind of like the Ross situation you had a couple years ago. And I had Bass, and it was the same thing, and it threw me off of my game so much because I just fell into all right, I got to get Bass's numbers. No matter what happens, I got to get Bass's numbers. And I think Forrest does a great job with kind of just going in and playing a game plan, but there are some drives where you're just like, I got to give him a shot. Let's go take a shot. So it is tough to have such an elite player like that, just needs so much attention. And I think a lot of people sleep on that. Addy has won a championship here, and you know, you never hear anybody bring it up. And you know, I'm just shouting out at AK. We didn't forget, man. You got that banner. Go out and finish this season out, and go show them that you're ready to compete for another banner.
If this team makes it to the playoffs, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be, you know, my wild card right here. I'm telling you right now, because this team, you know, offensively and defensively are one of the most dangerous teams that nobody in the DML wants to play. I'm telling you that right now. So this is the team that I think that a lot of guys don't want. They don't want them to make it to the playoffs. So they're praying that Kirk and the Green Bay Packers can figure out how to give them a L in this matchup. But Vegas, however, thinks that Kirk and the Packers have no chance. So I'm taking it that Colbert injury is the reason why. Vegas has the Chargers favored by 7.5 points. With my pick, I definitely think that the Chargers is going to pull this one out, because I've seen how this Green Bay Packers team operates when Colbert goes down, and it's a totally different team. I'll tell you that right now. So with my pick, is a no-brainer. I'm taking the Chargers, getting a W, finishing the season off strong, and locking in a playoff spot. Who you got in this matchup?
You know, when Colbert was in there, I probably would have leaned towards a close battle and picking the Packers over him. But without Colbert, this offense is going to have a hard time keeping up with such a high-power Chargers offense. I got to go Chargers. It's going to be Chargers, and I think he's going to win by at least two scores. Okay, so he definitely will agree with this one. So moving on, we have the bust of the Chicago Bears versus KP and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, okay, we have two guys. Both teams secure their playoff spot. So the Chiefs really don't have nothing to play for. They're 15-0. I just want to ask a question, you know. Is this Kansas City Chiefs team, because, you know, we got KP. In previous cycles, he has been dominating. He dominated the DML. But this season, are we witnessing and are we getting a preview of what's to come from that old KP that's transitioning now over to Madden 19? Or is this just a fluke off of what KP says, the strip of his schedule, and him just having Madden luck? Or are we not buying into it? 'Cause I'm not buying into it. I'm telling you right now. I played against this Kansas City Chiefs team, and he might have some people fooled, but I'm not fooled at all. He's hitting that peak at the right time, heading into high stakes, and I'm seeing it right now with this Kansas City Chiefs team sitting at 15-0. But what's your thoughts on what I just said? Yeah, I think Kansas City's been slowly but surely just waiting in the depths till we got closer to this high stakes to really put it all together. And here we are. He's undefeated. He's playing at a high level. The battle of the KPs is tonight, and the Bears have to win this game. This is a must-win game, and you never want to be in a must-win situation when you're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I do think he's going to be one of the top guys these next few years. he's on a roll, and he's definitely here to stay.
One thing that this Bears and the Bucs is going to have to figure out is one thing, because the beginning of this cycle, like I will stress the issue, man. That Chicago Bears team in the beginning of the cycle was very dangerous. And their offense was ground and pound. That's it. Just ground and pound. But I think that after watching the Bucs, game on the offensive side of the ball, him focusing on the offensive side of the ball, it made him lose track of his defense, because this Bears defense, even though they're ranked 17th in points per game allowed, only giving up 23, I still think that's way too much from what they have came from in previous seasons. But I think by him focusing in on the offense and trying to figure out how to get that offense going, it made him lose track of his defense. This is a game that the Bears is going to have to figure out how to slow down this Kansas City offense. Now, he better pray and hope and cross his fingers that KP is resting his starters. But do you think that even though you're sitting 16-0, you're going to get that by you having that first round bye, is this a game that you want to put your starters in just so you don't lose that fire, that momentum, or you just say, hey, heck it, my playoff spot is locked. I got home for the advantage throughout the playoffs. I'm going to rest my guys.
Yeah, this is the difference between when we just spoke about the Saints team. I think Kansas City here, I could see him resting some guys and not really worrying about the situation at hand to just go out and get a measly Week 17 win. But he's also not going to lay down and give one up to the Bucs. This is definitely going to be a battle, and I could see him where he does kind of rest his starters, but also still competes at a high level.
Gotcha. So Vegas right now thinks that the Bears is going to pull it out. They have them favored by 2.5 points. I think Vegas got this one right. I think KP is going to come out and just rest his starters, and the Bucs is going to come out playing like this pretty much is a playoff game. And I'm taking him to get the W going into the postseason with some momentum. What's your thoughts and what's your pick on this game?
Me too. I'm going with the Bucs. I want to see the Chicago Bears in the playoffs for sure, and I think he's going to finally pull it together tonight and grind one out.
Okay. Moving on, we got Expert and the Jacksonville Jaguars versus SJ and the Houston Texans. Now, this game right here, first off, number most importantly, it's a divisional battle. First of all, then you have Expert coming off of tying game against his division mate Marizi and those Colts. Now, Expert right now has the number 2 spot in the AFC. SJ, however, is on the outside looking in on the bubble of a wild card slot. Now, with a loss and a win in the wrong place or the right place, they can swap spots. Meaning, SJ can get the division, and an Expert can swap on to somehow, some way, randomly get the playoff spot. Now, SJ couldn't seem to figure out how to stop the Jacksonville Jaguars in the beginning half of the season. Do you think that entering this matchup, the Jacksonville Jaguars should come out with the same exact game plan that executed them a win in the early half of the season, or sprinkling to switch up little things to hit SJ by surprise?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough one to call here. I definitely could see where Expert tries to implement something new, but at the end of the day, he's going to go with what works. They've battled each other for the past 5 years here, and he's just going to go to what he knows is going to work against this Texans team. So I'd love to see them play the similar games that they do, ground and pound, and Expert definitely loves those routes that take some development time. So if Houston cannot bring pressure, he looked for Dak Prescott to just keep having an amazing season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with this game right here, man, I'm saying right now, it's going to come down to who can stop what the user likes to do. Because these are two guys, like you said, have been playing each other so much that they know at what point in time of the game they're going to pull out their money plays, what the money plays is, what type of routes they like to adjust to, who they're looking for their first read, what to take away. This is going to come down to who can stop what each user likes to do. And in this matchup, Vegas right now thinks that the Houston Texans, however, can pull out this W because they have them favored by 1.5 points. Now, my gut right now is telling me to go with Expert and the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I want to put that chip on Expert's shoulders because I don't get me wrong, Expert's my guy. You know, Expert is very humble, but I want to see that Expert that, you know, listen, I'm better than you. I'm going to beat you. And that's just that, you know. That's the type of Expert I want to see. And I want to put that chip on his shoulder, hopefully bringing that fire into his matchup. So with my pick, I want to take SJ in Houston, Texas, getting the W in, possibly securing them postseason spot. What's your thoughts on who you're going with your pick?
Yeah, I'm going against Vegas as well, or not as well, but I'm going against Vegas and you. I'm going to pick Expert to ruin the Houston Texans season, and he's going to look to push Dak to have a big game against a division rival and hopefully win best QB in the AFC. Like I said, Dak is looking very unstoppable, and if Houston can't find a way to get pressure against that team, look for the Jags to have a field day.
Okay. Let's see who's going to lock in that playoff spot. Moving on, we got the LA Rams, King Vitamin, versus your Seattle Seahawks. Now, you got a playoff spot, which is secured. I wanted to ask you flat out honestly, is this a must-win game for the Seattle Seahawks? Even though y'all have a playoff spot secured, do y'all want to come out and win this game and just have one home postseason game? Or is this just a game that you like, you know what, I'm going to come out, try some things out, you know, some things for the playoffs, put together some stuff that some guys haven't seen yet so I can pull out in the playoffs, or is this just another game?
No, this is every time I play this Rams team, I am going out to try to beat this guy. It's so crazy to see King Vitamin how he's handled this entire cycle, because there are games where he battles me for 3 quarters and it's a bloodbath, but then all of a sudden he'll just lose sight of it and then I'll pull away. He's always played me super tough, and I love playing him all the time. I was happy to even be in this division. Hands down, I think if you look at going one, like our number 1 guy versus another division's 1 guy, you know, going through 2, 3, 4, and King Vitamin being our 4th guy, I think we have the best division in the whole DML. And, you know, he's had an up-and-down season. That team is loaded if you look at that roster, and I'm definitely coming out for this win. I need this win. If I really want to secure my first division title, I have to win this game, and we're going to come out strong.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on this 100%. Even though this you know, Los Angeles Rams team and King Vitamin is sitting at 500 on the season, this is a guy that if you allow him to hang around and get things going, he'll put a hurting on you. Just flat out.
Yes.
But in this matchup, I really can't see that because this Seattle Seahawks team right now is just, they have too much on the line. You know, and Vegas seems to agree with that. Vegas has the Seattle Seahawks team favored by 5.5 points. So with my pick, I'm definitely thinking that this Seahawks is going to pull it out. You know, you got the home crowd, you got the momentum, you know, and y'all have the key pieces. You know, I just think that this LA Rams team just don't have enough as far as the coaching staff, the play calling, or just the talent on the roster. So it's a no-brainer. I'm taking the Seahawks getting the W. I already know. What's your pick on this matchup right here?
Easily. Seahawks win.
That's a good pick. So moving
Simple
on.
That's it.
That was a good pick right there. I already knew that was coming there. But moving on, we got a game, in my opinion, that really doesn't seem to, you know, mean that much, so we're not going to spend too much time on it. But we got C-Rob and the Carolina Panthers versus T-Pain and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, T-Pain and the Bucks, man, I was like, listen, you know, the moves that he made last season, I thought like, wow, this is going to be the breakout season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. You got the offensive line, you got the run game, you got the wide receiver core, you got the secondary, you got the line. Everything just lined up perfectly for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, but clearly the plan has just turned to shit, just flat out. And then you have T-Rob with the Panthers, who, you know, made a couple playoff appearances, and now just seems to just fell off, you know. But Vegas right now, you know, with their pick, they're thinking that T-Rob and the Carolina Panthers are more talented than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so they think that the Panthers is going to pull it out. They have them favored by 4.5 points. Now, I like this matchup right here because it's still an interesting game. I see Rob is a funny guy, man, and T-Pain, you know, Mr. Melt the mic down, he's a funny guy also. So I know this is going to be an exciting game, even though both guys are on a losing season. So with my pick, I'm definitely going to take C-Rob because I just think that, the Panthers just have more talent as far as, stick skills and roster talent. So my pick, I'm taking the Carolina Panthers. But what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the comeback king as well. I've had both these guys in the party chats. They always get me geeking. But T-Pain, he's had such a tough time in that division and even in the NFC. He just cannot find ways to finish games. And I think once again, C-Rob kills him with the comebacks, and it's a W for the Panthers, and they moved to 8-7, I think.
So moving on, we got JB, the Denver Broncos versus tight working the Miami Dolphins. And this game right here is, I'm going to turn it as a trap game. It's a trap game, flat out. This is my trap game right here. Because you have JB and the Denver Broncos, and they're not getting BS'd around by Madden. This is a very dangerous team. You have tight work, who this season, man, the consistency has not been there. I don't think that, in my opinion, just looking at this Miami Dolphins team, they're not one of those teams in the regular season that want to come out and look real flashy. They're just a team that wants to get enough wins to get into the playoffs, and I think that's when their real season starts. But I'm still labeling this as a trap game because depending on what JB's getting in this matchup, this could be a very dangerous game for the Miami Dolphins. But you have the Miami Dolphins right now. They're sitting at 9-6. They hold down their last slot right now, currently in the wild card. Do you think that JB has enough to pull this off and potentially in the defending Miami Dolphins, the current champions right now, end their season early and send them home and have them sitting on the couch with a big bag of chips and a nice cold soda?
See, now here's the problem. We've been waiting. We loved his quarterback, the Broncos quarterback, Kevin Purdom. He was such a high-profile player coming into the draft, and it was exciting to see him get drafted. And he really has had very subpar seasons, and this is his worst season by far. He's only had 7 touchdowns to 34 interceptions. Broncos, do not turn the ball over against this Miami Dolphins team. Don't keep throwing routes that just aren't there. The way you're going to have to beat the champ is to slow it down and grind up and down the field. Get the little yards. Take what he's giving you. But I think even all through that, the Dolphins have a chip on their shoulder, even with being the champ. He wants to get this division title, and I think the Dolphins definitely take this game. It's going to be close for the first. I think at halftime you're going to see probably about a 7 3-point game. I do think it's going to start out close, and then towards the end that defense is just going to suffocate Kevin Purdom. Look for Purdom to throw at least 3 or 4 picks.
Yeah, that's the first thing I was going to say to you. It just seemed like the Denver Broncos come out, play you hard the first 2 quarters, and at the halftime, it's like Space Jam. They lose their special juice, and they just flat out disappear, man. So this is a no-brainer for me, even though Vegas has, the Miami Dolphins here about 4.5 points. I think Vegas got this one right, and I definitely think that it's going to be, a big win for the Miami Dolphins. Coming in with that momentum that they want to get back to their winning ways and want to show people that the regular season it matters, but the full season where it really counts at. So my pick, I'm taking the Dolphins, locking in a W. Who you got? What's your pick on this one?
Dolphins easily. That defense will eventually suffocate Kevin Purdom, and Dolphins take this and ride a nice momentum heading into the playoffs.
All right, moving on. Next up, we have under 2 rated in the Washington Redskins versus HBO and the Dallas Cowboys. This game right here, man. HBO can't seem to get the quarterback question mark from over Dallas. Drafted about 30 different quarterbacks. Nobody seemed to work. Even with all the talent out there, the most dynamic wide receiver duo that we will probably have to witness to date in the DML with Joseph Myers and Rashard Bateman when he traded them. And you have under 2 rated with the Washington Redskins, who have one of the most dangerous secondaries in the DML on paper. Let me reflect on paper. Even though last week they caused 7 turnovers, both teams just can't seem to figure out how to use their talent. But Vegas, I'm not gonna spend no time on this right here. Vegas has the Redskins favored on the road by 1.5 points. I think Vegas got this one right. The Washington Redskins, in my opinion, is just a better organization than the Dallas Cowboys. And I think Under 2 Rated has more talent on the sticks than HBO. So what's your thoughts on this game and who you picking?
I'm still salty as hell against Under for him ripping out my heart when he beat me a couple weeks ago. I'm going with my boy H-Bo. Let's go, H-Bo. Don't worry about your draft pick. Come out here and defeat a division rival and get a W and go off.
All right, so we split choices on that one, man. Let's see who's gonna pull it out. Moving on, we have the big homie in the Cincinnati Bengals versus Tone Dog and those Oakland Raiders. Now, listen, to me, I'm telling everybody right now, this Oakland Raiders organization has not been the same since they lost 2 key players, but out there with the organization tricking like they ain't got it. I mean, they out there spending money, checks was bouncing, they was gambling, they moved to Las Vegas, and things just went downhill. You know, this organization right now is in a total rebuilding stage, and come high stakes, I think this is going to be a dominant, team that nobody wants to face. But as of right now, this organization is just all over the place. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals, they call me, man. Listen to me, dog. You are one of those guys, man, that I play every season. That when I come in, I play you. I don't know. I'm curious on what user I'm going to get. Meaning, the one guy that's going to come out, play me tough those first 3 quarters actually, and then that guy that's just going to come out and just throw the ball in triple coverage, double coverage, and I don't be understanding what you be looking at. Even though we don't be playing a horrible game, and we deal with a lot of the Madden BS. Some of that stuff, man, just be like, what are you doing? I remember one time I played you through the ball, and it was like 4 of my defenders against 5'9", 5'10" wide receivers. Like, for real? Okay. But in this game right here, man, Vegas thinks that the Oakland Raiders are going to blow the hinges off the Cincinnati Bengals' door. They had them favored by 10 points. I think with this game right here, man, it's going to come down to who wants it the most. And the Cincinnati Bengals right now, talent-wise, their roster is better. But when it comes down to stick fields, I think Tone Dog has the big homie. And with my pick, I'm taking with the 10 points, the Oakland Raiders getting a blowout win, closing out their season at home, getting that victory. What's your thoughts on this game and who you picking?
Yeah, I'm going to definitely go with the Raiders. I love his quarterback, Aaron Manningham. I always have, even when he got drafted. It's rare to see 2 quarterbacks come from Florida State, and they're both still in the league. Not dominating, but they're still a starter and leaders for their team. I like Aaron Manningham. Look for him to finally pull it out and not throw more interceptions than touchdowns this game. And on the Bengals, that guy, I played him 2 weeks ago, and it came down to the wire. He played me so tough. It was an overtime win. I took a gamble on one of his nice plays. He's got a very nice deep route play, but it needs time to develop. So I sent Van Der Esch on a nice little blitz on the middle. Van Der Esch sacks him, strip fumble. My rookie Shockey picks it up. We kick the field goal to win it. But this is a guy the Raiders have to apply pressure, because if you're going to let the Bengals sit back there, and he's going to find that route, and it's a nice one. It's very hard to stop. Even if you're in a cover 4 or even manning up, it's hard to stop. So my suggestion is Raiders, if you really want to shut down this Bengals offense, send the pressure, make him feel it, make him turn over the ball. I look for the Raiders to win this one, but in a very close battle.
Okay, so we got the Raiders on this matchup. Moving on, we got the commission. Nasty knows the Atlanta Falcons versus the Louisiana Colts. Now, this Falcons team, with the Sack brothers out there in Atlanta, that just seems to, put fear in any quarterback that's coming up against them. Even though this Atlanta team, is on the verge of, in my opinion, scratching the surface of that ceiling, heading into high stakes season, do you think that the people is just not buying the hype in Atlanta, man? It's just, okay, we understand the Sack brothers is out there, but other than that, there's nothing really out there in Atlanta that's interesting. And do you think that they just saying that this is a team that, they had the Sack brothers. They getting that pressure. They're cheering the quarterbacks up. But this is a team that is a bottom tier team in the DML, or you think that this is a team that can, break that ceiling and come high state, one of these teams that can lock Nasty Nuke a secure top 8, top 10 pick in the DML draft for the teams in Madden 20? Or you think that this will be another year that the Atlanta Falcons will be one of those teams that draft good people and just pretty much fall off the mat?
Here's the thing with Nuke. I've had the pleasure of somehow matching up with him every year since I got here, since year one. We've played each other every year at once. And this is the thing about Nuke that I've noticed even this year when I played him. I beat him by, I think, like 3 possessions or something. But get back to running the ball, man. You are trying way too hard to develop Joey Gill. I see it in the stats, and I noticed even when you played me, you barely ran the ball. And when you run the ball, you beat people. And I've just noticed a little thing that you're really trying to develop Joey Gill. Get back to running the ball, and I do believe this is a guy that will be a player come high stakes, but he really has to get back to just grounding and pounding, because it really is hard to stop sometimes. And it's nothing special. It's just his offensive line really blocks well for those running backs. Get back to running the ball. I'm really happy to see this matchup. You got the other guy, Marizi. He's got that DN that's already talking smack. He's going to be heading for Joey Gill's head. You got the Sack brothers. It's going to be a really fun matchup. Expert, we should probably do a live broadcast on this one with all the smack talking going. This would be a fun game. I hope it comes down to the wire.
Yeah, this game right here, I'm saying right now, even though Vegas has the Atlanta Falcons favored by 5.5 points, I definitely think that this game is going to come down to who can just flat out stick to the game plan, and not get distracted, because they definitely doing a whole lot of trash talking in the chat. And I'm telling you right now, when it comes down to that trash talking and you're facing that user that's on the other side of that trash talk, you come out and tend to be very aggressive to get outside of your game plan. You're trying to drop. You're trying to go out the donut and the nuggets, flat out. You're trying to give us some extra ones on the side. So I think that, Nasty Nuke, like you mentioned, man, he has to get back to what was working. And that that ground and pound game was working out there in Atlanta, because what he was doing was he was, grounding and pounding, and then when guys was coming up and stacking that box, he was hitting you over the top of that play action. So I think that he just has to get focused, man, and locked in, because we all know on the defensive side of the ball what is the key to being a good defense, and that's getting pressure, flat out. You can have a horrible secondary, but if you have 2 guys or a front 4 that can get pressure on the quarterback, your defense will be good. That's just flat out. But in this matchup, I think that, Nasty Nuke and the Atlanta Falcons is going to pull out the W, because he's going to take heed to what we tell him to do. He's giving me a little free chicken. So lick your fingers, Nasty Nuke, and get back to what me and Jay just mentioned. Ground and pound, and then sprinkling that play action over the top. So my pick, I'm taking the Falcons getting the W. But who's going to be your pick, and what direction you going in?
Yeah, I got a little more free chicken for Marizi. Do not test Deion Jones in the middle. Even if you think you can get it over that man's head, it will not happen. Don't test Deion. I suggest stay the hell away from that middle linebacker. I don't care where it is. You'll have great success if you stay away from that guy. I'm still going to go with the Falcons. I think it's going to be a great battle. It's going to be fun. I hope they're going back and forth, talking smack. We love that in the DML. I'm going Falcons by, I'm going to say 3. I think it's going to come down to a last-second field goal.
Okay, so we both agreed on this one. Well, moving on, we got man, AJ the Arizona Cardinals versus Sweet 99 no San Francisco 49ers. This is a game right here. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling Sweet 99 right now. Bench all of your starters. You have a playoff spot locked up. We know how that San Francisco 49ers organization team gets when it comes postseason. You start blowing those guys away, they start dropping off like flies. Listen, rest everybody. Get them some milk. Get them their vitamins. Get them a good meal. just sit the starters, please. Do not bring these guys out, because I'm telling you, somebody's going to get hurt. every single season, heading into the postseason, you lose a key guy, whether it's a week before or in the postseason. Rush your guys, man. AJ, you came into the DML. You had an okay rookie season. You're sitting at 7-7. This is a game right here, flat out. It's a statement game. To let your division mates know that you're here to ball out. This is a game that you want to finish. This is a game that you want to finish your season off strong with. You're on the road. You're facing a division mate. You know, just go out and ball out. But Vegas thinks the San Francisco 49ers is going to pull this one out. They have them favored by 7 points. I think, you know, looking at this matchup, if Sweeps plays his starters, he's going to pull this one out. You know, hands down, flat out. But if he takes my advice and rusts his guys due to the fact that you don't want to lose nobody, I think the Cardinals can pull it out. But however, man, I don't think Sweeps is going to rust his starters. I think Sweeps is going to come out and pretty much put his guys out there to carry some momentum heading into the postseason. So with my pick, I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers, getting a W, going into the postseason with some fire. What's your thoughts on this matchup and who you picking?
Yeah, I love this matchup. I love that Brigatti got called up to be in our division, and you know, we've battled in the blueprint. It's awesome playing him. This is under the lights, Sunday night, 8:20. The Cardinals have to make a statement here. I'm going to be a little biased here. I need my boy Sweets to drop this one for me, big dog. Cardinals, do what you do. Play your game. I've seen you beat Sweets before. I need you to pull this one out for me, big dog. I'm definitely going Cardinals here. I think Sweets is going to lay back a little bit. And Cardinals get the W, and I clinch a division title.
Okay, man. So we split ways. The Cardinals got a lot of pressure on you, man. You got some people that's depending on you. I'm your host, OG Chris Murray, man, with my co-host Jay. Man, I appreciate you jumping on the show, man. It was very good. You know, for the guys that's tuning in, drop a comment. You know, let us know who you think is going to pull out these upset wins, who's going to be knocked off sitting on the couch real early. You know, that was us giving y'all our golden picks for Week 17. We out.
Peace.